This episode of the Rocker Skating Podcast is brought to you by MK Blades, the choice of champions. For nearly a century, MK has crafted world-class figure skating blades trusted by Olympians and beginners alike. Whether you're perfecting your first jumps or chasing gold, MK gives you the edge you need. Visit mkblades.com and find your perfect pair. Welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast. Junior Worlds is over, and that means we're talking about one last competition to go in this marathon of a season. And we just had a marathon of a Junior Worlds. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Jackie. I've been watching a lot more skating than I expected to be at this point in the season, but here we are.
Same. We had what was billed to be 51 women's short programs, which ended up being 50 because we had one withdrawal. Not that that really changed much in terms of the amount of time we were spending watching the Olympics, watching the Junior World Championships. Incidentally, I was also watching Olympic replays in between all these Junior Worlds programs because I just can't get enough, apparently. We had 50 women's short programs. We had 43 men's short programs. We had 30 rhythm dances, and we had 18 pairs short programs. It
was a lot of Ricky Martin, and it was a lot of Backstreet Boys.
You
know that Backstreet's back.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Ricky Martins and the Backstreet Boys is not just that there were many of them. It was that they just coincidentally happened to have gone back to back multiple times.
So many times. Even in the last group, like second and third last skaters, like both skated to Backstreet's back. Everybody.
Next year when they have the waltz, hopefully they'll have the waltz.
Please. Although, weird little rumor that came out of Junior Worlds is one of the ice dancers, I believe it was Amber Perrier-Giannassini, was talking about how the Golden Waltz is not going to have key points next year. It's just going to be GOE only.
I saw that. That'd be interesting. The thing about key points, though, is we'll have more discussion about this if and when we don't actually have key points. But the thing about key points for me is that you end up really focusing on four very specific things. And therefore, to get those levels called, you are really, as ice dancers, you're always optimizing for levels.
Yeah.
You're always optimizing for points. You have to focus on those specific four things before you focus on the entire pattern, which in some ways it's a little bit of a detriment, right? Because you get the GOEs from the actual pattern itself, but you get the levels called for these four particular steps or turns.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like for them to focus more on the pattern and connecting to the music than the key points. However, I am afraid that they're going to do something like put the key points in the criteria for the element, and we're going to get a ton of Golden Waltz exclamation point. Like everyone's going to have an exclamation point.
Well, GWBs. There are going to be a lot of GWBs. George Washington's Golden Waltz. Well, should we start with the dance since we are talking about dance?
It's a great dance event.
It was, but you know what was interesting? And I want to hear your perspective on this, because when I saw Aboian Veselukhin's Vogue at the Junior Grand Prix final, I was so enamored by it. And then when I saw it here at Junior Worlds, I was like, this is not the same program.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like it was different energy, different whatever.
It definitely. I definitely think they didn't perform it to their maximum ability. There was a little scratchiness. There wasn't I think the freedom in their movement. I felt like they were almost off time a little bit in their rotational lift at the end. I feel like she didn't get her leg all the way around him, so she was like just hanging on. It was not their best performance of it. I also think that they are I feel like Hana Aboian is this like baby diva glamazon. She has so much performance energy. And the Grand Prix final had this huge arena of people just eating it up. And Junior Worlds was a little different. It was a smaller venue,
Yeah.
less people in the audience. And I think that might have also impacted their performance a little bit. Their free dance, though, I think was really strong. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. I did think Vogue for
Mhm.
me was a little frenetic. Like
Mhm.
it was a little Gumby in some
Mhm.
ways, and like the positions and the
Mhm.
structure of their shapes were not as
Defined.
precise,
Yeah.
defined as it has
Yeah.
been in other competitions. And I frankly I thought they should have been like second or third in the rhythm dance.
Yeah. It definitely I don't know if I would go that far, but maybe second. I love that French team's Backstreet Boys rhythm dance. It definitely yeah, it's like I think it was a timing issue and that so their positions were getting rushed because the timing was off in a weird way.
Yeah.
I stand by their performance of that program at the Junior Grand Prix final is the definitive Vogue rhythm dance of the season. Period.
You know, I don't disagree with you. Um, I also liked Perry
Mhm.
Giannissini and
Blanc
Blanc
Klapperman. Yep.
Klapperman's rhythm dance.
Mhm.
The one that I
Mhm.
loved was Veillon and
Yes.
Brandy's. I thought they were
Yes,
totally
they were
underscored.
robbed, and it was like that was so it was like Daft Punk, like, Around the World and another piece, and
Mhm.
they were just so in the rhythm of it, and just their choreography was so good. Mark was saying on the broadcast that Mark Hanratty, that it should have been like a 10 for composition or like the best score of the event for composition, maybe not a 10, but I absolutely agree with that. I think the program construction and the way that it was, like, choreographed to the music, it was
Yeah.
really, really satisfying.
And they skate big.
Mhm.
They really sk
Yeah.
like, they remind me a bit of Hubble
Mm.
Donahue at their best in terms of, like, how like, they have such a lot of times the ice makes skaters look small
Mhm.
because it's such a huge
Mhm.
rink, and I feel like, they actually fill
Mhm.
out the ice really
Mhm.
well, and their
Mhm.
aggressiveness and the way that they step into things is
Mhm.
just so good.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
thought.
It's like there's kind of an efficiency to their movements that allow them to put more energy into sort of the dance movement and just the musicality. They don't need to do too much work because they just kind of fly around. Um,
Yeah.
I feel terrible saying this, but I kind of think they should have been 3rd here. Um, no offense to the Ukrainian team who seem lovely, and I'm just not crazy about that Moulin Rouge free dance.
I think the top 4 were the top
Mhm.
4, right? Like, I think those were the 4
Mhm.
that should have been in the top
Mhm.
4. Um, I this is why I was saying I think I would have had Aboian Veselukhin 2nd or 3rd in the sense that I would have had the French and the
Mm.
Canadians above them in the rhythm
Mm.
dance. I think
Mhm.
overall, if you took their free dance into account, they absolutely won this
Yeah.
one. The free dance was definitely the class of the field.
The
Yeah, I mean,
goddess Nike.
some of those that lift is just so
Oh, at the
epic,
end when she has
right?
her leg up behind her and she's just like,
Mhm,
"Yes." Oh, that was great. The big musical
mhm.
accents in that program and the way she hit them, Hana Maria hit them with such definition in her body. It was, like, really, really exciting and yeah.
It was the opposite of what we saw in the rhythm
Mhm.
dance where I was talking about kinda Gumby,
Mhm.
right? Like, the positioning was very, very
Mhm.
good, very strong,
Mhm.
and it was like we were seeing 2 different
Mhm.
teams from the rhythm dance to the free
Mhm.
dance. I love her skating. I think
Yeah.
she is the
Yeah.
star of that
They're
team
very
for
Grishik
sure.
and Platov. Very, very Grishik. I'm so excited that they're American and we have them in the US and they're so good. I'm so excited to see where they go. They are, she's only 15, right? So they have another year.
Mhm.
Let's say
They
her
have another
birthday is
year.
in May. So they have another year of junior. I think these other 3 teams are eligible to move up. I don't know if they're all going to, um, but they're eligible.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think Pegana and Koval,
Mhm.
the Ukrainians, that they they get their points and their
Mhm.
excitement from the crazy
Mhm.
lifts that they do, um, and the craziness of also their
Mhm.
twizzles, right? I think those 2 are the standouts for
Mhm.
them. Um, I also tend to agree with you on the Moulin
Mhm.
Rouge was it like I think it's p for me, the fact that they're using Moulin Rouge the musical,
Yeah.
and Moulin Rouge the musical is such a hodgepodge of random
Mhm.
songs, like,
Yeah,
even more so
so
than
random.
the movie,
Yeah.
even more so than the movie that, like, you're like, what's going
Yeah.
on? What is the story
Yeah.
that we're telling
Yeah.
right now?"
Yeah.
Tarzan, though,
Oh,
Tarzan was
God,
good.
I love the Tarzan program. It was a cool idea, and they just executed it so well. I am such a big fan. I mean, I'll go on and on about this, about the Lyon School and the work they're doing there. I mean, every team that comes out of there, I love their material. I love their style. I'm a big fan, and I think they're doing,
Yeah.
yeah, amazing things.
I do think that as overall
Mhm.
basics, Perrier Giannassini and Blanc
Mhm.
Klapperman, I feel like sometimes outskate
Yeah.
Aboian Veselukhin. I think their edge quality is
Mhm.
superior.
Yeah.
Um, I think Aboian Veselukhin skate
Yeah.
bigger. So it's evenly matched in some
Mhm.
ways. They both have their strengths.
Mhm.
And but I don't think there's one who is absolutely stronger than the other
Mhm.
right now.
Yeah. It was a fun little rivalry this season.
Yeah.
The Peruggianassini and Blank Klapperman, I think they said that they haven't decided yet if they're moving up, but if they do, please invite them to Skate America. Just putting my request out there.
I mean, the French ice dance field is getting
We
deeper
had
and
3
deeper.
French teams at Skate America this past year. I was a very happy girl. So,
Mhm, mhm. That was ice
mhm,
dance. It was a fun
mhm,
event. I really liked a lot of those different oh,
mhm,
and
mm,
also some of the creativity of the
mhm.
earlier teams I loved.
Was it
Like
the Spanish team you
it
posted with that leg accent? That was so cool.
it was,
Yeah.
it was, it was, it was there's a
Lara
Grunberg
Sundberg,
and
Hector
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez Elvira.
Sundberg and
Yeah.
Gonzalez, that their choreo lifts or their choreo
Yeah.
hydroblade was so
Yeah.
fun, and such a departure. And you saw that with some of the earlier ice dance
Yeah.
teams where it wasn't just that they were trying to find different creative
Mhm.
ways to do things. It was also that they were doing things in different
Mhm.
orders than you'd expect them to.
Mhm.
Like I remember there was like, somebody started with a choreo step
Mhm.
sequence, or character step
Mhm.
sequence. Like usually you see like with the senior teams, there's a lot of, oh, we're gonna do all the big elements and then we're gonna do the last three,
Mhm.
and it's the three
Yeah.
choreograph
Yeah.
things. Um, Not that that's always the case, but you see that a
Just gets
lot.
formulaic. Yeah.
Right. And I thought the earlier
Mhm.
teams, because they're trying to at least differentiate themselves a little bit, they were trying some different things,
Mhm.
and I love that for
Mhm.
ice dance.
I also love the Spanish team doing a Big Bad Voodoo Daddy free dance, especially in the year of the '90s music, so they have 2 '90s programs. That's fun.
I did find that these teenagers doing 90s programs were even more out of
Oh god,
place
yeah.
than the 20
So
somethings doing
weird.
90s
Yeah.
programs.
It's so weird.
I'm like, you have no
Yeah.
idea what we were
Ugh.
doing in the 90s as teenagers, but I guess that's also what happens,
Yeah.
like,
It's
for
lost to
the history
time. Only we
yeah,
remember.
the history of figure skating has
Mhm.
been people skating to music that was not of their
Mhm.
generation. So, it just so happens that the 90s were our
Mhm.
generation when we were teenagers,
Mhm.
so I think that's why I have such a visceral
Yeah.
reaction sometimes. Okay, pairs. Pairs was a mixed bag, and
Yeah.
it was a general sort of mess, especially in the freak skate. And I don't know. I'm of two minds about
Mhm.
the junior pairs. On one hand, it's like, yes, they are juniors,
Mhm.
and it's great that they are they're trying new things. They're putting difficulty out there that they want to be putting out before they become
Mhm.
seniors. All this and all that. On the other hand, like with like Herrera and Kapta, for
Mhm.
example, they were doing throw doubles because they're not ready for throw
Yeah.
triples, and we were seeing some throw triples that were like, no, 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 you're not ready for
Yeah.
those yet. Um, so it's that question of like, do you do really nice throw doubles, or do
Mhm.
you go and try a messy triple? And for a long time in senior
Mhm.
skating, when the IJS first started, we were seeing a lot more clean double
Mhm.
twists because there was a long sort of regrouping period for pairs to basically relearn the
Yeah.
twist and do them differently than they used to do them. So I don't know. I'm of two minds.
Mhm.
But it was a
Yeah.
mess. That's
I
unfortunate. It
mean,
was a mess.
Ruo their free skate, like but I will say quad twist to open level 3, that's a positive. I love seeing this brand new Ukrainian team. I think he's only the guy is Ukrainian, but I love seeing them, like, getting on the podium with
Yeah.
relatively clean skates, and then Kieran Thrasher is an incredible name. He's been on the junior circuit for a long time. Every CM, I'm like, "Yes, that's
Yeah,
great."
Kieran
Yeah.
Thrasher.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, what was
Mhm.
interesting was Kemp Elizarov, DeRoche and Thrasher, Herrera Hopta, Flores and Wang, they
Mhm.
all have something of like an early senior look to all
Mhm.
of them. They skate bigger. They are a little bit older than some of the others, right? And so, Kemp and Elizarov and Flores and Wang were both on the senior circuit
Mhm.
this year and skated there. So, um, you saw the difference in power
Mhm.
and maturity with some of those teams.
It's the first time in history there've been 2 Canadian pairs on the Junior Worlds podium.
That's
Yeah, I can't
crazy.
believe that Skate Canada isn't blowing up all of my social media. I just looked at that now. That's crazy. Well, it was always, like,
and the f-
Soviet teams. It's like they could never get more than 1
yeah,
medalist. Um,
and the first junior world title for a Canadian pair since 1978, and it was Barbara Underhill and Paul
yeah! Oh
Martini.
my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, talk about, Canadian
Yeah,
legends, Underhill and
yeah,
Martini for sure.
yeah.
All I can remember is, speaking of teenager in the 90s, all I can remember is them being like, "Here's the leap of faith." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what is the leap of faith?"
Yeah.
And it's her basically like diving into
Oh,
his
yeah,
arms.
yeah.
If you don't know what the leap of faith is, go watch
Mhm,
Barbara
mhm.
Underhill and Paul Martini do that in a professional
Yeah,
competition. It's pretty
yeah.
cool. Also a little
Uh-huh.
scary. Uh, but Herrera Copta, I love
Mhm,
them. I think they have such a strong
mhm,
future ahead for them. Hannah Herrera, by the way, was U.S. women's junior
mhm,
singles for a few
mhm.
years, and so they've teamed up, and now they're representing
Wow,
Ukraine. She looks like a
she's from
natural.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
She might have a hometown Olympics in a few years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Time for citizenship talk
Yeah.
already.
I
four
don't think
years,
it's
4
that
years
hard for
before.
Ukraine to get Ukrainian citizenship. I don't think it's too bad.
Maybe a little bit different.
Um,
Maybe a little bit
mhm,
different. Um, but yes, Kemp and
mhm,
Elizarov win. DeRoche and Thrasher second. Herrera Copta
mhm,
third in the pairs.
mhm. These kids have had a
The
long
men.
season.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, we talk about our very first podcast episodes
Yeah,
felt like five
yeah,
years ago, and it was like, what,
yeah.
August,
And all these
September
kids were
of
competing.
2025? They were already
Yeah.
competing. They were already like at their peak,
Mhm.
and they have to like peak
Mhm.
again now.
Mhm.
Which, yeah, it's been a
Mhm.
long season. And also, we talked about this in the preview. The These junior skaters, a lot of the times, really develop during the
Mhm.
season, and you see them change
Yeah.
right before your
Yeah.
eyes. And it's very interesting, and it goes to show, right,
Mhm.
the actual amount of improvements you can make
Mhm.
during 6 months, whether you're a junior or a senior, but you see it
Mhm.
more with these junior skaters
Mhm.
because they really are just maturing
Mhm.
as we're seeing them. Okay, men,
Man.
what a battle.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
battle. It didn't disappoint, the Rio
Yeah.
Minkyu showdown was exactly how it was
Well,
built.
not quite. I feel like I cursed Minkyu a little bit by saying in our preview episode that he has seamlessly integrated the quad sow cow and hit it
I
every
know
time. When he fell, it's like, no, no. Ugh.
he was just paying homage to Junwon
Yeah, he was
Cha and
smacking the boards.
all all the Koreans
Yeah,
skaters who jump a
yeah,
little too close to the
yeah.
boards and hit him.
Pose on the boards.
Um, uh, I mean, he was great. I thought his components were a little underscored in both
Mhm,
programs. Um, but I think a good
mhm,
season for
mhm,
Minkyu, even though he didn't end up being as competitive as he thought he was going to be for the
mhm,
title. It was also that Rio skated lights out in both
mhm.
programs.
But Rio was a beast at this competition. He was
Yeah,
indomitable. That
yeah.
opening quad sow in his free skate, I mean, that, like, covered, like, zip code to zip code. It was huge.
It's a Yuma Kageyama quad
Yeah.
sow,
I mean, I think it's
like,
almost, that's like Samoylov distance. It's
oh
huge.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm,
Such a great
mhm.
couple of
Yeah.
programs for him. And earlier in the season, we were talking about how he just had this
Mhm,
swagger going on because he was so confident, he was so well trained, even though he was
mhm.
injured early in the season. And then it sort of took a dip.
Yeah.
Junior Grand Prix final was like a little bit off. Japan Nationals was not exactly what he
Mhm,
wanted. And you wondered coming in if this was going to be early season Rio or if it was going to be mid-season Rio. And it was neither of
mhm.
those. It was a I'm ready for
Yeah.
seniors Rio.
He was building, and I think his team handled his injury correctly, and, yeah, he looks great, and I'm really still a little bit salty we didn't get him at the Olympics. I'm still not the biggest fan of the age rule change, but, it's over, so guess we'll see him next fall in senior.
I I mean, without the age eligibility stuff, we would not have seen these rivalries go on
Well, we
either.
might have seen them
The
with,
way
other skaters, I mean.
but the way that like Rio and Minkyu have been one, two,
Mhm.
3
Mhm.
seasons, right? And the way that Mao Shimada and Jiashin was 3
Mhm.
seasons,
Mhm.
and
Poor oh my gosh, Mao Shimada. Ugh. Anyway, we'll get into that.
we'll get
We'll get
into
into
that.
that.
We'll get into poor Mao
Yes.
Shimada.
Yeah, we will.
That was a lot.
Mhm.
That was a lot to watch.
Mhm.
But yes, Rio Nakata wins his second consecutive junior
Mhm.
worlds. Inku Saw gets second for the second time, and the two of them have been top two
Mhm.
for the last 3 years. It's been a
Mhm.
dynasty in a lot of ways. Jacob Sanchez, once again, the pewter medalist, number 4.
Yeah, I mean, he skated pretty well. Okay, his free skate was not what he's fully capable of, but I think that yeah, it was a good effort from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I understand it, his quad sows in practice at junior worlds were better than his quad sows at senior
Wow.
nationals, at US
Wow.
nationals. So it's a good sign
Mhm.
that they're improving
Mhm.
because he's going to need them next
Mhm.
year. Um, but
Yeah.
great that he was able to end his season on a few good
Mhm.
notes with U.S. nationals, with four continents, with here skating really
Mhm.
well. And, he needs to start next season the way he ended the
Mhm.
season, which is you got to do all your
Mhm.
triples
Yeah. Yeah.
and go work on that triple
Yeah.
Salchow that you
Yeah.
messed up.
Do a clean free
And
skate if you're only doing
yeah,
triples.
do some clean free
Yeah.
skates, Jacob.
Yeah.
But he and Lucius Gazanecki gets the 3 spots back
Mhm.
for the U.S. for the junior men, which is
Yeah.
it's a good thing
Mhm.
for the U.S.
Mhm.
juniors. Taiga Nishino, though,
Yeah, he was great.
we knew that coming in that he was going to be a
Mhm.
contender. One, because he's like a generally very assertive, like in your face kind of
Mhm.
skater, and he showed that. But two, he has 2
Mhm.
quads, and he landed them,
Yeah.
even though they were a little like everything was a little scratchy in the free
Mhm.
skate. But
Yeah, he
he
did
did
it, got
them,
it done.
and he
Yeah.
got it done. He got the base value
Yeah.
for it. Like, he was very close to upsetting
Mhm.
Minkyu for the
Mhm.
silver,
Yeah, he was.
but
He was
but
very
he was good.
close, uncomfortably
He was very
close.
close.
Yeah.
I know.
Um,
But that's also that was my thing around him about Minkyu
mhm.
being maybe a little bit underscored
Mhm.
on the components. I thought Taiga versus Jacob, Taiga versus
Mhm.
Minkyu, the PCS should have been a little bit
Mhm.
larger in terms of the gap. Same thing with Habin Choi. Like, we're
Mhm.
seeing the 2 guys who have all the big
Mhm.
quads getting components that maybe were just a little bit too high here,
Mhm.
relative to everybody else, right? And they were generally fairly stingy with components
Yeah.
at Junior Worlds,
Yeah.
with the
You're
exception
like,
of Rio.
if you're lucky, you get a 7.
Yeah.
I wanna talk about Habin Choi. So,
Yes,
there's a
please.
Meatloaf album, it's called Bat Out of Hell 2: Back into Hell, and I don't know if I've ever heard the album all the way through, but that title, that is how Habin Choi skates. His jumps, he attacked so hard, and he's just like, I'm out here jumping like crazy."
Yep,
I mean, and, like Mark said, it was like you can tell how much he enjoys jumping. I mean, it was like almost Truciva-esque. It's like, "Let me get
absolutely.
to my next jump, and it's gonna be huge." It was very I think you mentioned this, it was interesting for a Korean skater because they usually have a lot more detail and, focus on components, the presentation, and, the skating skills, and he was like, "Nope, I'm jumping. Just hold that thought, I'm gonna jump."
Yeah, what's interesting about it
Mhm.
is that because he grew up in the Korean
Mhm.
system, that his basics are still pretty
Yeah.
good. I just don't think in his mind,
Mhm.
as he's doing these programs, that's what he's necessarily being like, "I'm gonna really get
Yeah.
whatever," but he has enough of a solid
Yeah.
foundation that he can go through with
Yeah.
it. But agreed, like, I don't, as great of a jumper as he is, he's not there yet with
Mhm.
choreography. He's not there yet
Mhm.
with presentation.
I don't think he wants to be
And
bothered. He has jumps to do.
I do wonder how he develops over the next couple of
Mhm.
seasons as well, because, you bring jumps like that and you're in the
Mhm.
conversation.
Yeah.
There were some really good programs also, just like if you look down the
Mhm.
list of like some really great
Mhm.
skaters that some of whom were, I think, lowballed on
Mhm.
components. People like Luka Emidashvili. I don't know if you saw him in the short program. He had this
I
just
did.
incredibly charming short program that he was totally lowballed on for components, and he
Mhm.
should have made the free skate.
Lithuania.
Um, yeah,
Oh, wow, it was
and
choreographed by Kirill Khaliavin. I'll watch
oh
that.
wow,
Yeah.
there you go. Ian Wheeler was
Oh, he's a
great.
beautiful
Matthias
skater.
Lindfor was
Yeah.
great. Yeah. some of these junior guys
Mhm.
who are artists at heart,
Mhm.
and performers at heart, loved seeing those
Mhm.
in the junior ranks.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think those men, you
Mhm.
know, it was a
Oh,
generally pretty good
we
competition.
need to talk about Yan Hao Lee of New Zealand.
Well, we should.
This kid can jump. He is a beautiful skater. He has such good technique. And I'm completely confused because he has like lives and trains in New Zealand coach that I haven't heard of. I'm like, where did you learn this? I mean, I guess you can learn good technique in all kinds of places, but he's amazing.
I wanna say something about kangaroos, but that's Australia.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. New Zealand has I don't know,
what do they
there's
have?
like they have some kind of uh
They have quokkas?
yeah. Yeah. Um Uh, let's see. They have the kiwi, that's what I'm thinking of, the kiwi is their bird. Yeah.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Um, yeah, he was awesome. I was very, like, interested in hearing him skating to the male version of I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis. I was like, "I don't know if I've heard this before." Figure skating brings out some of the strangest, musical options out there. Um,
Oh, I totally thought it was Josh Groban, but it's
no,
not. It's some guy someone named Carl
yeah.
Loxley. Who would have
I'm sure
thought?
Josh Groban has a cover out there somewhere as well.
Oh, I am sure Josh Groban has a cover of everything. Um, no, I've really liked his
Mhm.
skating for a while. He had the breakthrough, what was it 2 seasons
Mhm.
ago? Was it 2 seasons ago? He was 3rd at the, Youth
Mm.
Olympics. Last year, he was 5th at the Junior Grand Prix final. This year was a little bit different
Mhm.
for him, unfortunately. Um, and it was good to see him do a good short.
Mhm.
Just the free skate just didn't really materialize for him.
Mhm.
But hey, New Zealand
Mhm. It's
getting a
cool.
really good men's skater.
Yeah.
We love it. Um, all right, let's go to the women and let's pick up the thread of poor Mao Shimada.
Ugh. So poor Mao Shimada in her 4th Junior Worlds, because of the age rule, she had a great short program, and then I guess she was really sick at this competition and had just an abysmal practice the morning of the free skate, to
Mhm.
the point where some people thought she was going to withdraw, but pulled it together, came out and did a really strong free skate, no quad attempt, but she did a nice triple axel to open. Had a little issue with one of her spins, but very respectable. She is a little warrior and locked down her 4th world junior title, which is crazy. Yeah, that's an unbelievable period of dominance. She has never finished lower than 1st at an international competition. She has more gold medals, I think, than anyone. It's just out of this world.
It was like me back in the days of intercollegiate collegiate skating,
Yeah.
where I never finished lower than 1st at a, I don't know what it was, intermediate
Yeah,
program in men's
yeah,
programs because I was the only one
yeah, yeah,
competing. That's why I never
yeah.
finished lower
Get
than
that gold
1st.
medal, Jackie.
But, we're talking about Mao
Mhm,
Shimada having been dominant over the past 4
mhm,
seasons, having really, like, strong skaters
mhm,
in the junior ranks who
mhm.
were never able to beat her,
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah, it's
including our current Olympic bronze
yeah,
medalist, Ami
yeah,
Nakai.
yeah, I mean, Ami couldn't beat Gia, so it's yeah, it's really interesting. I'm really interested too to see where Mao's career goes from here. I mean, she's definitely moving up next year. She said this was
Right.
her last junior competition, so we'll see how she transitions to senior. I'm guessing it will be quite well, but I'm happy for her. Um, that had to be just mentally so challenging to be so good and so dominant and unable to progress into another
Mhm.
level for so long. um, and to have gotten through it without getting burned out. Um, yeah, it's impressive.
Well, she has 4 more years until the Olympics.
Oh,
Like,
that's
that's the
awful.
crazy thing, right? 4
Yeah,
years of dominance
yeah.
on the junior ranks, and now she has to wait 4 years for the
Well, maybe she can win the
Olympics.
next 3 world titles and then Olympic gold. So, she doesn't win other color medals, so, I mean,
Apparently not.
yeah,
Apparently not. But you know who was the highlight for me?
Hannah.
Hannah
Yeah.
Beth. My
That
goodness.
triple axel, triple toe, it's like she doesn't even set it up, she just steps up into it, and it is like a tornado. I mean, it is so powerful, just and out of this world. I mean,
Yeah.
the attack is just incredible. She was great.
I I I don't like
Jackie's shaking his head in disbelief.
she she was she was saying something about she's basically been working on the triple axel since she was 10.
Wow.
And so part of why she's so comfortable
Yeah.
with it, right, is that this is
Mhm.
somewhat become second
Mhm.
nature for
Mhm.
her. And the move to Japan to train has just helped
Mhm.
her become a much more all-around
Mhm.
skater over the past 2 seasons,
Mhm.
and gosh, the first junior world medal for Australia in any singles events or either of the
Yeah.
single events, and I think the first junior world or world medal for
Nope,
Australia.
they won the bronze in 1976 in pairs.
Oh,
Elizabeth
pairs,
Kane
yes,
and Peter
pairs.
Kane. Oh, yeah, they won plenty in pairs. Sorry. They've yeah, we know
Yeah,
our teams. Our yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Katya and Harvey and then,
We
Nastia and
yep.
Hector. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. In women's, I don't think they've yeah, it's their first ever.
First ever for junior worlds,
Mhm.
I think also first ever for
Mhm.
worlds, like any
Mhm.
kind of worlds, junior or senior
Mhm.
worlds. Um, so history maker Hannah
Yeah.
Bath.
Yeah. Um, she made a good decision moving to Japan to train with Rio and his dad.
Talk about a power 1-2
Mhm.
with Rio and Hannah.
Mhm.
And she's what? She's 16, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I
Hannah
think
Bath.
she's old enough to move up, though. I think her birthday is
March 6th. So she just turned
oh,
16. So
no, she's another year.
she had another year.
Mm. See, Jackie,
It's
it's
okay.
not the most delightful.
You know what? I'm here for world junior champion Hannah
Yeah.
Bath in
Okay. I
2027.
mean, she has nowhere to go but up, so
Yeah, excited to see where she goes. She's got
mhm.
so much potential,
Mhm.
and she's already proving to be a history maker.
Mhm.
And then Mayuko Oka, who we were expecting
Mhm.
to be the one who could challenge for
Mhm.
gold, didn't quite have it. That triple
Yeah.
axel in the free skate was not there, but that short
So good.
program,
The peacock theme, I'm gonna miss it.
it's
I wouldn't mind if she kept it another year. Um,
I know.
I love it. Props to Caitlin Weaver for being just amazing.
So it wasn't
It
Caitlin Weaver,
wasn't?
apparently.
What?
It was apparently Kana Muramoto. Caitlin Weaver did her free skate.
Oh,
This was at
interesting.
least
Well,
what
I have a
was
bone to pick with
yeah,
the ISU then, because they have them listed in the wrong order on her ISU bio.
that's why we've been having all these issues
Mhm.
apparently. Um,
Well done, Kana. She was always an extraordinary ice dancer, so I'm happy to see that her skill is translating to choreography as well. Yeah.
either way, Kana and Caitlin are they have this gem,
Mhm.
and I it's not even like a hidden
Mhm.
gem anymore. This is the gem that is
Mhm.
there in the world
Mhm.
stage, on the world stage, and they have been doing wonders
Mhm.
with choreography with her.
Mhm.
And she just seems like such a
Mhm.
malleable skater in terms of choreography, and that's going to serve her really
Mhm.
well as she progresses over the next 4
Mhm.
years. And her jumps are strong. She has some very good foundations in all this stuff. Her jumps are big
Yeah.
too, right? She's not one of those junior skaters who you're
Yeah.
like,
No rotation
are we
issues.
going? yeah,
Mhm.
are we gonna lose
Mhm.
rotation going forward? So hopefully she will continue, and I think she's got another year
Mhm.
in juniors. Um, but there was what was interesting about this junior slate was that you didn't see as big of scores as we've seen in the last couple of
Mhm.
seasons, partly because I think we had a Shinamano technical panel,
Mhm.
so a lot of strict
Yeah.
calls, but partially because the judging panel just felt a little bit stingy
Yeah.
with their scoring here too. So um, I don't know if it was necessarily lower depth of the field, but it was certainly there was certainly a little bit of
Mhm.
both, I think. Um, some great skating though, I think, especially I think the short programs had some really good stuff.
Yeah.
And the free skates were a little bit more up and
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
But portends the future. I
Mhm.
think the way that these junior women have been able to progress on the junior level has been really good.
Yeah. I was really surprised by some of the mistakes we saw from, I think, medal favorites in the short program with Mao Kata messing up her combination and
Oof.
then Yusong Kim falling on her triple loop. It was like, no. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Those were two of the ones you
shocking.
expected to be up
Yeah.
there.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, if I'm being honest, Mao Kata shouldn't have made the free skate.
Yeah, probably not.
Like
That
like
was a big
the
error. Single Lutz, triple toe, under rotated fall. Yeah.
and a fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it was one of those huge errors where she was lucky to have gotten the
Mhm.
component scores that she
Mhm.
got, because she didn't skate that program the way that
Mhm.
she would normally skate
Mhm.
it, and so, uh, she made it barely into the free skate
Mhm.
and then had a jump from 24th to 10th
Mhm.
as we expected from her,
Mhm.
um, but still, you this was one of those competitions where you really saw the discrepancy of going early in a lineup.
Mhm.
When you're going, first out of 12 on a Grand Prix, it's a different kind of thing than when you're going in the first
Mhm.
group out of
Yeah.
51
Yeah.
skaters. And the judges are like, well, all right, give you some
Yeah.
fours, because you're early on, and it translates
Mhm.
into this sort of like pattern of, okay, well, the last person got a 4.5, so the next person is going to get a
Yeah.
5.25, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of triple
Yeah.
axels,
That was fun.
certainly. Sophie Jolene,
Yeah,
Yusong
and Inga.
Kim, Inga
Mhm.
Gerganidze, Hannah Bath, Mao
Mhm.
Shimada, Mayuko Oka tried
Mhm.
one, um, and May Okada was trying one, but then she popped it into a
Yeah.
single. But a lot of
Yeah.
attempts and a lot of pretty good ones that were landed.
Mhm.
So
Sophia Schifrin did a really strong free skate. She was just really solid, big
both of
clean
them.
jumps. Yeah, and I think any other year that would have been enough, probably to get on the podium. But there was just a lot of depth here, and she doesn't have a triple axel. Um, yeah.
I thought her short program was especially sort of musically well
Hmm.
skated, and like I think along with the men where we were talking about um, skaters who have been able to progress as juniors and
Hmm.
also find their presentation
Hmm.
skills. We got a lot of that
Hmm.
here too with the junior women. I mean, you look at like a Ji Yu He and Angela Shao.
Hmm.
Um, some of these skaters who Amanda Getzo was an interesting one too
Hmm.
because she was not ranked terribly high up, but I thought her short program was like,
Hmm.
very very well choreographed and very well skated. Like
Hmm.
there's very interesting variety in the talent that we're seeing with the junior women.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Junior Worlds. A whirlwind that was Junior World that
Yeah.
felt like it took 3 weeks,
Yeah.
but it was only 4
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. It was fun though. It's fun kind of seeing some of these younger skaters and their creative programs and um after the stress and the rigors of Milan. So, mhm.
Well, we're about to head into the stress and the rigor that is
Oh my
Prague and the
gosh.
World
Yeah.
Championships in 2 weeks. Excited to start previewing, but
Yeah.
we'll
We
take a
can't do
little
the
bit of a
preview
break.
until we know who's actually going to be
I know
there. Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll take a little bit of a break, but in the
Mhm.
meantime, there's some fun interviews
Oh,
lined up.
cool.
Olivia Smart, Tim Deek, I just talked to for a good amount of time,
Yay.
and so we'll have that coming out. We're getting a rocker
Mhm.
rewatch for both Dune 1 and Dune 2.
Oh, cool.
So we get to hear their commentary for both of those
Cool.
programs, which is
Yeah.
fascinating. Um, so we'll get that. I got a couple more lined up, and hopefully we'll get those before we get to
Mhm.
the World Championships in Prague.
Mhm.
Michelle, anything that's top of mind for you?
I didn't mention this, but I loved the 2 Italian junior dance teams that went back to back. Barbara Fuzzar-Poli had one and Walter Rizzo had another one. They were very different in their styles, and they were both great. And I was thinking like, wow, Italy's sort of not had a lot of depth in their dance program, and I was excited to see those 2 junior teams, and they have the recent last year's world junior champions who were missed most of the season
Yep.
because of injury, but, we're there watching and will hopefully be back next year. So,
Yeah, Tallinn and La
yep.
are they should be back next year and as
Yeah.
seniors. So
Uh,
that'll be
I
nice.
also have a heads up for any Canadian Team Canada fans who are in the US. Lululemon has a ton of Team Canada stuff available for order in the US, but they have the mitten
Oh wow.
pins. So if you saw the skaters with the mitten pins that they were trading, that you can get them on the Lululemon website. I may have ordered them. I mean, the Olympics are over, but I was like, I need these just for reasons.
I'm curious to see what the pin trading is going to be like in Prague
Mhm.
because I remember even in
Mhm.
Montpellier when we were there for post Beijing
Mhm.
Worlds, there was still a good amount of pin trading
Yeah.
going on. Not quite to that level
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
craze. Um, but maybe it was also because it was COVID Olympics and people are like, oh, we can talk to each other
Yeah.
again.
Junior Worlds might have had some good pin trading going on because there were a lot of unique countries represented here. I kind of want to stand in the mix zone for that 50-woman short program and trade pins with each one that goes by.
We're like, what pins? We don't have any
Kyrgyzstan?
pins. Yeah.
I mean, that's in New Zealand. It's like incredible.
I
Denmark?
know. I
Yeah.
know. One thing that will be very interesting to watch, in addition to who will
Mhm.
remain um, in the on the entries list for Worlds, is who will be making retirement announcements. We've already had a couple that we know of. Um, Mai Mihara
Mhm.
has officially made her retirement announcement,
Mm,
which is very sad. And I'm sure we'll get more.
yeah.
But skating fans, just get ready.
I think we'll also get the soft retirements, as in they don't retire, but they don't show up
Yeah,
in the Grand Prix entries. So then it's kind of like, oh, you're taking a season away, you know.
yeah,
Some people
right.
never
Yeah.
retire because it's like they just don't want to.
I mean, the Shibutanis never actually really retired, and then
Yeah.
they did come
I mean,
back.
famously, Ashley Wagner has never retired, so she could always come back.
Ashley Wagner, we're ready for you, and Moulin Rouge version
Yes.
5.
I mean, she hasn't done a Moulin Rouge the musical yet, so I think, you know, there's a lot of material there. There's a lot of different songs there. She could do a few programs. Yeah.
Nicole Kidman all the
Yeah.
way, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to take a break. We're going to get some rest. And we'll be back soon. We'll be back next weekend for something. We'll figure it out what we're going to do next weekend. But in the meantime, any sort of updates we will have for you for the World Championships coming up. So for Michelle Ellis, this is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd of rockerskating.com. Thanks, as always, to John Wilson Blaze for getting us through this marathon of a season. And also getting us through this marathon of a season is Tara Nichols, who have been editing and producing us all season long. We'll talk to you again next week. Bye.
Bye.